October 13th, 2018. I'm Justin Castelli. This is all about your Benjamins and your weekly mixtape. As you can see, different scenery today. If you notice in the background, a bunch of RLS Wealth Management coffee mugs. Getting the house today ready for a big client cookout tomorrow. It's my third annual client cookout, so this will be brief. And honestly, it wasn't a lot of news. The news this week is pretty obvious. Before I get into my little 2 cents on it, there'll be a lot of great posts down below in the mixtape, which will break out with more detail and kind of expand upon my few thoughts on, obviously, the market this week. That's what the main thing for this week's conversation is. So, unless you're under a rock, you know that this week in the market was pretty volatile. A couple of big drops on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday, we had a nice recovery. I had a thought of, do I want to reach out to clients and send an email reminding them of why we have a diversified portfolio, that this is part of the game that we play, and ultimately I decided not to. Part of what I view my job as a financial advisor is to position clients to be able to ride out these ups and downs, also educate them as to why we don't want to react, and who knows what's going to happen in the future. So kind of, if you're thinking about why did this happen this week, what's going on, what does this mean for the future? Well, first and foremost, no one knows really what it means, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But if you go through the news and the headlines, some of the reasons you might read about why we had big declines on Wednesday and Thursday are attributed to interest rates rising, the expectations for the Fed to continue to rise. You had President Trump coming out talking negatively about what the Fed is doing, saying he doesn't like it, saying they're acting crazy. I think loco was actually the word that he used. And typically the president, and I've talked about this before, remains independent, and the Fed remain independent from each other. So to have him commenting on it concerns that maybe he's going to influence what they're going to do going forward. Honestly, the fact that they're raising rates and continue to is signaling that the economy is doing well. But now all of a sudden Wall Street doesn't like that, even though the expectation has been that rates are going to go up. So, again, rates going up, the Fed continuing to raise rates, the president not liking it. I even saw some headlines about China messing with their currency to try to help out in the tariff situation. So all of these reasons that all probably have some merit, but honestly, no one really knows why that went. All that we really know is there were more sellers than there were buyers this week, which drove the price down. If you are an investor in technology, if you're very heavy in technology, specific individual stocks, you probably felt the pain more than some. But nonetheless, the indexes across the board had a rough couple days. Friday looked like it was a recovery, but we'll see what goes going forward. So as I've said many times, we don't really want to react to things like this. No one really knows exactly why it happened. There's reasons that make sense, but no one knows the true reason for the markets other than this is what markets do, and no one knows what's going to go on in the future. So while markets in turmoil might be coming back on your favorite news channel, and there'll be a lot of hype about the markets and what's going on and talk about recessions and bear markets, just remind yourself that this is all a part of it. Check the articles below that highlight some of the past market behavior, numbers about how this happens regularly. Just remind yourself that this is part of the game. It's been a while since we've had a couple of these type of periods. Remember, this isn't the first time we've had a pretty significant decline pretty quickly. That happened earlier in the year in February. So second time this year. Prior to that, it had been a while. So my take on this is going to see what ends up happening. We're going to earnings season, so we're going to have a lot of companies reporting here in the future. That's really going to tell us how the economy, what the expectations are going forward, not just this short-term blip on the market this week. So that's all I've got for you this week. I told you it's going to be quick, to the point. Got to get the house ready for everybody coming over tomorrow. Be sure to check out down below all of the blog posts. There's some great ones that expand upon some of the very basic stuff I covered today, give you some more evidence and some more statistics to maybe hold on to the next time this happens again. So I will see you all in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Again, check the articles below. Follow on all the social media, the blog, the podcast, YouTube channel, Instagram. Make sure you're following all those so you don't miss out anything about All About Your Benjamins. And I'll see you in the next episode.